All right, good morning. I'm down on those public game lands this morning. I'm not hunting doves. I'm going to do some scouting this morning. It's Friday, September 17th. Tomorrow's the 18th, and it's the opening day of deer season in 3 southern management units in Pennsylvania. This happens to be one of them, so just was shooting a breeze with a couple of guys. They're twins, Dwayne and Blaine. They meet at the parking spot here where it's nice and quiet and peaceful before they both go to work and have coffee together. So we were shooting a breeze, having a good time. It's always cool to talk to some people that live locally here, and they shared some pictures of some really nice buck that aren't far from here. One of them's got double drop tines, so he said, and that double drop time traveling from the private to the public back and forth. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I'm gonna take a walk down this road and see what the creek is to cross. There's usually corn planted on the other side of this creek, and I want to get over there and see what kind of sign I see. I saw some deer over there in the late season when I was down here hunting with the muzzleloader, and so I want to go down there and see, because that might be a spot that I want to go in the morning tomorrow. So take a walk down this road, enjoy. It's a beautiful morning. It's gonna get warm, but we'll get it done while it's cool out right now. Alright, so this field right here is all planted with soybean. So I'm still gonna go down across the creek, because I think I saw the corn is planted in the bottom part of that big field there. But I do want to walk this edge and kind of get around, because if you look over here, there is a little small row of pines that goes along this edge of the field right here, and it meets up to that hardwoods. And I want to take a walk around there. There's a big hill right up over there, and it's really, really thick. Not really anywhere that you would set up, but it's probably good bedding. These deer come down into this at night to feed, and then maybe head back up in the bedding, or even like right over here. So if you look here, you can see, I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a trail going into this thick stuff. I can see right back in through there. So these are the small things on public here that I'm looking for. This thick cover. This is a lot thicker than it was last year, so it's really grown up. And I had seen last year a lot of rubs in this area right here. So it's a great area for deer to be bedding. Here's another trail right here. This one's even more pronounced. Look at that right here. So there's deer coming in and out of this, going into these beans. So this is good. I don't remember beans here last year. So, but we definitely are going to take a walk around. I never checked out that area there, but now that we have these beans here, I do want to check that out, because it's a good food source. I mean, the thing down here is I am going to have to leave my house at the latest 3:30 in the morning tomorrow to get down here, because last year it was packed. Now, not everybody was hunting deer. There's a lot of guys down here. Small game, early small game is in for squirrels and stuff, and hunting doves still. But that one tree right over there, if I go over to check that later, if I see some trails, that would be a tree to get in. especially if it's an oak. I can't really tell from here. Alright. I don't see anything moving around in this, but I gotta believe these deer, with the traffic that this property gets, they're gonna get back off the beaten path here. Well, made it across. You could see when I was coming across there how high that water was when we had all those heavy rains. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be down enough. It was still pretty close to the top of my boots there, you know, but I made it across, so. This road goes right up to the bottom of the cornfield, so take a walk up here and see. So this corn is not really tall at all, but there's soybean planted in amongst it, so it's a mix of corn and soybean, which that is different. Mosquitoes are really bad down here. I have not seen any deer yet, though. There could be deer bedded out in this field. It's all these, like, I'm not gonna say they're sunflowers, I forget what they call them, but it's all these yellow flowers. A lot of goldenrod too, but all right, I'm gonna walk the low edge here. Alright, so I'm down here. I'll show you where I'm at. So behind me here you can see this is a little patch. It's like a corner here. It's all pines. Across there's like a road that the game commission drives back. They'll stock pheasants and stuff back in here. On the other side here it's hardwoods. And I've been marking some trees along here that are good, that I'm seeing some trails coming in and out. The creek is not more than 20-25 yards. Then there's a hill that goes up into that field where I showed you as I came down past the beans. There's that hill that I want to check out. There might be one tree up in there. So this looks like it's cooler down in here. It's an area, got good bedding. Here's an old rub right here. Check this out. Okay. Right there. There's a big rub. A lot of old rubs down in and through these pines. And, you know, I found a lot of good sign down out here. Last year when David and I were hunting in the rifle season out here, we saw a gentleman coming out with a doe, and he said he killed it all the way back by the pines. It's a long way from the truck, but not everybody's going to come back here to hunt a deer and then get it out. this little flat is a great transition for the deer to come off of that hill, cross the creek, get into these pines and bed and stay cool during the heat of the day. So there's a couple good trees in here that I marked. I'm just going to keep walking the edge here, going all the way around, looking for old rubs, maybe some new rubs, trails. Hopefully maybe see a deer or two. But there's another old rub right in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's on a trail that comes in and out of there. These deer will use these little bit of pines to stay cool in bed when it gets hot. They've got plenty of feed, water. And now we get over into here, it starts to get really thick all the way up this hill. That's great bedding for deer. So I'm just going to be quiet walking up here and see if we can't find more sign. Ooh, it is warm and humid today. And it's probably going to be this way tomorrow, but finding some good trails. So this hill behind me looks relatively decent inside there as far as open. There's some trees that I could get in. Down in here, there's some trails that come right into this field. But you can see down here now, these are the pines that I was talking about down in the bottom corner here that provide really cool cover for these deer when it gets hot. I would imagine out in all this flower, these like small, there's sunflowers and mini flowers and goldenrod, that there's deer bedded out here. And when it gets hot, they're going to get up and head in to this cooler cover, like behind me or above me here. So this area is where I saw deer in the late season going in. They were out here around this point. So we're just going to walk this edge and just keep watching for sign. I haven't found any droppings or anything yet, but it's really thick up in here, and I know deer have gone in here. There's a deer track right here, a couple of them. Yep, now look at that, there's a trail right here. So these deer come off of this or go up into that from this field. No new rubs yet, but they could be deeper in. I just took a walk up into this thick stuff. It's a lot of bedding. I found a rub, trail going across. Not really good for getting in a tree saddle here, but I don't know, we're gonna keep looking. Boy, it's hot. There's a scrape there, it's old, but the licking branch on top is broken off fresh, so not worked heavy, but there's a scrape. But you can see the whole field out in front of me here. I didn't see anything bedded, but I'm gonna take a walk up into this corner here. You can see the hardwoods are up here now. Trail going right in here. So we're still on public. It looks like it drops off, and where the creek is down below, that's the property line. So there is a tree I can get a saddle in right over here. Even this one. I think we're just going to mark this spot as a spot to get up in with a saddle, because there's trails coming across this top above this cover. This tree here, it's a little curvy though. There's a tree right over there. That one. There's a trail. If you can see it, it comes right through there. It goes right out that way. And then we've got a couple trees back in here that I can maybe get up in if I want to. There's one right there that provides me with a lot of cover to shoot. I'm going to take a walk over there actually. That actually doesn't look too bad. There's just a trail right here, a lot of deer sign. Then down in here it drops off really steep hill. There's a creek down at the bottom, and that creek is the property line between public and private. Alright, we're going to keep working this edge down. I was just coming down here, I got to where this food plot is at, and I was just looking at these soybeans. The tops of these soybeans are really chewed off, and I looked up and I saw two young deer going into the hollow here, and then I saw a big doe. They were bedded in the corn and soybean right out in the middle. So, which is what I thought, these deer are bedding out in this stuff and really not getting up until it gets really hot to get out of that sun. I mean, that big tree right there could possibly work. It gives me some shooting kind of out over my shoulder here. Not a lot, but it would be out in this area is where I'd be shooting, and I'd have a lot of cover. I think I'll mark that because that might be an option. I made it back down to the creek, and it's just a beautiful sight. I mean, take a look all the way down there as far as you can see. I mean, that's just picturesque. I might actually take a picture of that before I cross. But I'm going to get across the creek, get up the hill there, take a little break, have some coffee, and then I'm going to scout that side over there. It's getting pretty hot though, so but I want to do a little good recon this morning just to kind of see what it looks like. Had a pretty good trip around that area. Saw some deer right down here that were in that corn and soybeans, so but there's definitely sign. I'm just not sure if that's a morning spot or an evening spot, so got to think about it a little bit more and figure it out. But yeah, I'm gonna get across here, have some coffee, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. Hey, while we're doing that, take a look at what Wally did just the other day. Kind of reseeding. Mother Nature hasn't been kind to us here, and so you know, we had to redo some food plots, and his was one of them. So let's join Wally back in his food plot, see what he's doing, and I'll catch back up with you in a little bit.